Sam Rushworth is next.
Thank you. It's impossible to speak of Gaza without paying respects to those who lost their lives or were taken hostage in Hamas's genocidal attack on Israel. I've seen the burned-out remains of a family home whose occupants were killed that day and stood at the Nova Festival site where beautiful young people were slaughtered, where they gathered to dance. And I've met with brave families of hostages who've continued to campaign for peace. I join their call to bring them home. The return to hostilities makes that less, not more likely. On both sides of this conflict are political leaders who've decided that innocent human lives on the other side of the wall are expendable in pursuit of their aims. In Gaza, those who survived the carpet bombing are at risk of starvation. As reported only today by Reuters, Niama Fajala goes out every day at 6 a.m, trekking with her children across a war zone from soup kitchen to soup kitchen in hope of a bowl of rice. If we don't die of airstrikes, we will die of hunger, she said. When my young son tells me, Mama, I want a glass of milk, my heart breaks. Hamas does need defeating, but the blockade of Gaza is not some unfortunate and unavoidable byproduct of war. It is a strategy of collective punishment. That's not just my opinion. Consider what they say in their own words. Finance Minister Smotrich admitted, he complained that nobody will let us cause 2 million civilians to die of hunger, even though, quote, it might be justified and moral until our hostages are returned. An admission that he views forced starvation as a legitimate strategy for securing the return of hostages. Ben-Gvir, who resigned as National Security Minister in protest at the ceasefire, has been unanimously reappointed by the Cabinet. Think about that. A man who opposed the only deal that has led to the return of hostages, reappointed to continue the aggression. I know some of the hostages' families feel betrayed, as their loved ones in Gaza are also put at risk from blocks to humanitarian aid and the IDF bombardments. They fear their loved ones are seen as expendable in a war that was never about bringing them home. So what is the aim? We can only go off what leading figures in the Israeli government say. Deputy Knesset Speaker Nissan Vachuri of Likud wrote on X that Israel's goal is erasing the Gaza Strip from the face of the earth. Meanwhile, Smotrich told a settler group that it is possible to create a situation where Gaza's population will be reduced to half its current size in 2 years, adding it won't cost too much money. He clarified this as referring to voluntary emigration, but people do not just volunteer to become displaced, stateless refugees. Conditions force them towards it. The name for this sort of plan is a matter for legal experts, but what is clear to all of us who believe in human rights is we cannot be passive about what is unfolding. I've sat through too many meetings like this, where one after another we stand up and condemn what we're seeing, and nothing changes. Unless there are actions which are felt, nothing will change. And I finish with the warning recently expressed by the Palestinian lawyer Raji Sarani that Gaza is becoming the graveyard of international law.
Thank you, Sam.